Orochimaru is a fictional character in the Naruto manga and anime series created by Masashi Kishimoto. He is one of the main negative characters in the story. Orochimaru, nicknamed Ninja 002300, was one of Sarutobi Hirozen's students or the third Hokage in his three-man team, which included himself, Jiraiya and Sonadeh, who later became known as the legendary Sanins. During World War II, the Shinobi fought Orochimaru and his team against a legendary ninja named Hanzo, leader of the village of Amigakure, whom he dubbed the legendary 3-year-old Kono to reward them for surviving the war. He was very smart and extremely talented even as a teenager. After the death of his parents, he showed a sadistic behavior that led him to pursue and learn kinjutsu, forbidden techniques, and eventually to learn all the techniques. Destroy and enchant Orochimaru's hands that he can no longer use to perform techniques. Orochimaru was one of Sarutobi Hirozen's students in his three-man team. Years after Hirozen's team disintegrated, he worked as an Anbu and a Ruth member under the direct supervision of Danzo Shimura. The death of his parents dealt him a great blow and caused him to behave sadistically. Shortly after losing his parents, he found a white snake near their grave. And Hirozen told him that the white snake was a sign of good fortune and rebirth. Did the techniques. According to Jiraiya, he took this path to forget his painful memories. Hirozen also had high hopes for Orochimaru that one day he could make him proud. Eventually, Orochimaru became the coach of Anko Mitarashi, who taught him ninjutsu and used him, along with 9 others, to cast the cursed spell of heaven. Although Orochimaru's ambitions did not include being the 4th Hokage, his eyes were on larger goals than his master was emphasizing. And Hirozen, who knew this, told him, "The true power of a shinobi is evident when he takes care of something important. Hokage's role is to love and protect the people of his village like his family." But for Orochimaru Hokage, it was nothing more than a means to an end, and it was nothing but power. Hirozen hoped to stop his student from going the wrong way. But over time Orochimaru got worse and worse. When it came to Hirozen's retirement, he chose Jiraiya's student Minato Namikaze to replace Orochimaru as the 4th Hokage. For years he kidnapped the nuns of Konoha village and used experiments on them to build a technique that would immortalize him, because he realized that a human lifespan was not enough to learn all the techniques in the world and took much longer. When all the disappearances ended in Orochimaru, Hirozen knew it was his job to kill Orochimaru. But in the end he could not convince himself to kill his excellent student, whom he had high hopes for. Before Orochimaru escaped, he kidnapped 60 children and injected them with the omen of the 1st Hokage, Hashirama Sanju, in the hope of recreating the wood technique. He had to leave Konoha before he could finish his work, but he thought all the tests were gone. Yamato was the only survivor of these experiments and could use the element of wood. Orochimaru performed the same experiment on Danzo, giving him the element of wood and the ability to use several Sharingans. It was at this time that Orochimaru left the village and joined a criminal organization called Akatsuki, although his purpose for joining the organization was unknown. In his organization, he teamed up with a man named Sasori, who worked together to do a lot for Akatsuki. But by joining a man named Itachi Uchiha after killing the entire Uchiha family in Akatsuki, Orochimaru took the opportunity to capture Itachi's body and his Sharingan eyes. But Itachi became aware of his plan and fought him with his Sharingan. Meanwhile, he cut off Orochimaru's left hand to break the spell of his Sharingan's illusion, which prompted Orochimaru to leave the organization. Conquer a new body.